Round 3.
Oh, Cooler's Revenge, Dragon Ball Z feature. A movie. Again, we're going to start doing this first 10 minutes or so, spoiler free.
Okay. I'm going to spoil everything. I'm going to spill the beans.
Mike can't help himself. He always
He wants to
spoiling
share
stuff.
so much.
Can't help myself. Love you and nobody else.
Hey, I know you can see my hand.
Better not hit it. Ah, no, you hit it. Okay.
Yeah, you know I'm about to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more curious to see what you thought about the movie.
I mean, I thought it was good.
You thought it was good?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
I was a little surprised on
Shocking.
the timing that you said, though, because, like I said, you know,
You spoiling stuff?
I don't know what is considered a spoiler for this.
I mean, if you say something that happens in the movie, like something important that happens. In the
Okay,
movie.
so we're just saying how we feel about it.
Hey, what,
Yeah,
what
our
color,
feelings.
What color
Okay.
was
This-
Cooler? What color was he?
I don't remember. Blue? I don't know.
Purple and white.
I don't remember. I liked it though. I liked it because it was short.
Okay.
You know, I get
it was,
real,
but it was actually longer than the last movie we watched.
I know, but I get antsy when stuff gets like real long,
Mhm.
and I kind of like this 45-minute to an hour movie.
Quick and easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was a good story, and I'm trying not to say anything spoil, but I enjoyed it. Good plot.
Okay, Mike.
Mhm.
What you got? Spoiler free. Let's go.
Okay, spoiler free. Gosh, no, this is a hard one. Nah, I'm just gonna kid. You know what? Okay, I really, of course, absolutely, I'm gonna like it. This is my favorite villain in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I got a chance to watch the English and the Japanese version of these,
Okay.
and I got two different experiences from it.
Really?
I love watching the Japanese and English versions of different things now, especially of old anime. It's like watching the original. It had certain suspenses and certain feelings and different things that were conveyed over, right, for certain characters and meanings, where when I watched the American version, it looked more crisp, it looked more upscaled and everything, because this is an old movie, old anime and everything, right? So when I watched the newer one, I was like, man, this is like a music video with the music and everything they were playing. I can't remember the band they were using, but like a lot of rock music going on.
So let me go ahead and just throw that out there.
Okay.
Let's talk about this for a second. You probably didn't notice, but when we were watching the end credits, there were name brand bands that were in the credits.
I didn't notice.
There was no name brand music in the one that we watched. Because once this was released, once this Blu-ray was released and digitally remastered, I don't think they had the rights to that music anymore, similar to your 90210
Yep.
issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get I'm just making up groups. I didn't get the Metallicas. I didn't get all that. I do remember that. And it did make the experience for me. I was like, this is not as entertaining as I remember it being. And that's kind of my whole take on this movie. It's this is what I'll say. When we first turned that movie on, I was like, none of this looks familiar. And then I remember in my head, I think I've only watched this one time. And then as we start watching the movie, I was like, I remember why I only watched this one time. I did not really, it wasn't that great to me. And it's even worse than what I remember. So I'm not going to say it was just like bad, but it was never one of the top tier Dragon Ball Z movies to me. And looking back at it now, especially with the limitations in the music, it's not as good as I even remember it. So if I would have said it was an 8 before, I'd probably knock it down a few notches right now. The graphics weren't great in this movie. I do like Cooler and what he represents. I did not like the ending. I won't spoil it, but I didn't like how it was how it ended, and I didn't like
the final act was really quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic. It was just like it's so Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with it.
No, you know what? I'll be honest with you. A lot of the buildup was pretty cool and everything. It had some slow moments. It had slow moments in there. You know,
Which is bad for a movie that's only an hour long.
Yeah.
exactly. Like my thing is when the action was happening, when you had the Cooler Armor Squadron in there, you know, that was good. You know, that was you know, to me, I liked it. You know, I liked the fact that you know, they were doing something, they showed their abilities. Of course, we're there for the action, you know? So
Let's talk.
more action. So, you know, and then too, on top of that, like all the one-liners and all the cool sayings that Cooler was saying, I loved it. I enjoyed it. He's a cool villain. He's a really awesome villain, you know, for what he was, you know? So anyway.
What else you got? Spoiler free.
I mean, I would say, just to clarify, just kind of based on something you said, this I think because it's so short, to me it doesn't feel like it's this like one-off movie. It feels like it's just another episode that's just long. So it's not that I would never watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, like I said, it's funny you say that because, like I said, I think this is probably the second time I've ever watched it. So in theory, I watched it and had the same conclusion, like I would never watch this again.
yeah.
Like it was so basic, the plot
Mm.
and what happened. It's like there's no, and it's the stuff that happened in it wasn't cool enough, even though it was cooler. Wasn't cool enough to where like I want to see that again. Like I've seen the Broly movie at least 7-8 times.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just another them a bunch of Saiyans fighting a legendary Super Saiyan. Like that concept is cool, and he's stronger than all of them, and blah blah blah. Like I've watched that multiple times. This is like
Well, and I think sometimes I mean, and we've talked about this a little bit. Sometimes I might be giving something too much credit, because to me, when I say I liked it, I don't mean I liked it like, oh, I would totally watch that again. I mean like I liked it. It was entertaining enough. It felt like just another episode to me. And
when you say I liked it, it kind of really means you didn't dislike it.
right. That's basically it.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it was good.
Right. You're right. So yeah, just to clarify that, and I'm not just like that with Dragon Ball stuff. I'm really like that with a lot of movies and stuff like that. I can say like I liked it, I thought it was a good story or whatever, but that doesn't mean I would recommend it. It just means really it wasn't terrible, I guess. But it was better than I would say. Like I wouldn't say it was all right. You know, it was good enough. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but I got through it. I was like, okay.
How do you like this villain Cooler compared to Cell?
Well, hold on. Before we get into those details, we got about one more minute here. So why don't we go ahead and do this? Why don't we go ahead and score it off top of the dome? And would we recommend it to the average Joe? Would you recommend it to an anime person?
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna give my safe answer of 8.
Okay.
Okay. Also, would I recommend it to somebody?
The average Joe?
To an average Joe person? Man, there's a lot of anime I can't recommend to an average Joe.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, because I'm just crazy like that. I'm just gonna go straight up to somebody. Man, watch this right now. Here you go. Just all up in their face.
And an anime person?
Anime person.
Would you recommend this to somebody who likes anime?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, they would love it.
I like how he goes, anime person.
Also, I would like to recommend this movie right here.
That's a good movie.
Put that down.
I would like to recommend this movie
for a
regular person.
That belongs in the trash can.
No, that's a good movie. I was also thinking 8, and no, I would not recommend this. Although to an average person. Although if I was talking to somebody and I'm like, you like Dragon Ball Z and that kind of stuff, and they said, yeah, have you seen this movie? No. Then I would say see it, because I think you need to see everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to put this one down in the like a 6.5 category.
6.5.
So a failing grade. I would not recommend this to the average Joe. Maybe if the other villains weren't like blue skinned, then maybe. Right. As far as the anime, yeah, of course, I would recommend this to someone who likes anime, and specifically Dragon Ball Z. I feel like this is a must watch.
But I have a question
for the Dragon Ball Z movies. There are other Dragon Ball Z movies that are not really must watch. Like, for example, I'm gonna just throw out a name, BoJack. It's not that it's not good. It's just not a must watch, right? I would probably recommend BoJack because it was good. This one, I'm recommending it to Dragon Ball Z people because it's a must watch.
So I have a question on that. So, like I said, so when you come to like the whole recommendation for like a regular person, I have a question. Would it actually be a good idea to recommend it just because it is Dragon Ball Z and that's like the whole, like that's one of the biggest reasons why like anime kind of got kicked off. Like if you want to introduce somebody like, hey, it's like, hey, Dragon Ball Z is like.
No, because I just think generally speaking, it's kind of too weird for that to be the first.
Yeah, I was like, you can't start there.
It'll deter people away from it. Okay.
Yeah,
well, they're not going to get stuff.
Well, you got talking cats and you got people shooting fireballs and people flying around and you got
talking pigs,
purple aliens and blue skinned people and red skin. So
flying dinosaurs or whatever that thing is.
All right. So, yeah, I think we went about 11 minutes there. Let's go ahead and